We were just talking right during the break about Apple, and our analyst right ahead of you was saying that he does expect a strong quarter. In fact, everybody does from Apple.
Well, everybody does, but everybody is still absurdly low relative to where the real expectations are for the company. Apple is tremendously consistent about giving lowball guidance that is a joke relative to where they actually come in. Over the past several quarters, they've come in about 40% ahead on EPS and about 7% ahead on the top line. So if you look at that, it's about $9.4 billion on the top line, $1.65 on the bottom line. Those are the real expectations. So if Apple falls short of those, then you're going to have a problem.
And how do you come up with the real expectations if the company itself guides lower?
Well, you just look back on what the guidance has been relative to the performance. And a lot of companies play this game where they try to put out very conservative numbers so they, quote, beat them, and then you get excited headlines about how they came in well ahead of expectations. But if you're really consistent about it, and Apple is, you just chart where the guidance was relative where the numbers came in, and you can say, okay, this is how much they want to lowball by. And I think that if you see them actually, if it pinches this quarter, if it's suddenly much closer, people will conclude, whoa, they didn't have as good a quarter as they thought. I don't think that'll happen. It seems like they
sounds like it's unlikely. And Daniel Ernst was saying that a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're grabbing market share from the other PC makers, from Microsoft, and from others. I mean, how long can they? I mean, I guess how is that going to accelerate in the coming quarters when you still have this talk about a consumer recession?
Well, that's right.
A more powerful Google?
The big opportunity for Apple is actually in the Mac business. I mean, the iPhone is going crazy, and if they continue to gain share the way they are there, they really are in a position to build the new platform for mobile computing. Huge opportunity. But if you look at their market share in Macs, one thing that's happening is Microsoft's Windows dominance is eroding. Macs can start to gain share. If they start to gain share in corporations, the sky is the limit there, because they still have only less than 10% market share there. So that's a huge opportunity as well.
That's a huge growth area. Okay, Yahoo coming up tomorrow as well for its results. Carol Bartz, has she articulated a clear enough strategy yet for Yahoo? It's been like 9 months that she's been at home.
And she's made some very quick decisions. She's getting out of some businesses. She's let go a bunch of people. That's very good. Yahoo desperately needed decisiveness. But she has not yet articulated a clear strategy of where Yahoo wants to sit versus Facebook, versus Google. The idea is, well, this is where you come to start your experience on the internet. A lot of people start on Google, a lot of people start on Facebook. So what does that mean exactly? I think she does have to articulate that.
And what are you going to be listening for me? What exactly do you think will make a difference?
Carol's had enough time now where the sales engine actually has to start cranking again. She's been there something like 10 months now. Again, made some good changes so far, but we've actually got to start to see real improvement on revenue, and so hopefully we'll actually hear that.
So real top line growth. Okay, speaking about Yahoo, because Google obviously another big competitor for Yahoo, or Yahoo competes with Google, but Google was the subject of this insider trading scandal that has erupted on Friday with Raj Rajaratnam, and being that they dealt a lot with technology companies. I mean, did you know any of these players that are involved?
Well, certainly by reputation. Galleon's been around a long time. They were very strong in the 1990s too. So, I mean, what I would say the general reaction is panic on Wall Street, because if you read the indictment, some of the cases here are black and white insider trading. If somebody offers to sell you information from a PR firm about Google's earnings, that couldn't be clearer. But a lot of them are, I was at a party with somebody who works at IBM. How's the quarter? There's no compensation.
And that happens a lot.
Happens all the time. And again, I'm not saying it's not insider trading, but you're getting into this world of institutional research. People are wildly connected. These companies have tens of thousands of employees. It's going to be a very gray area as to how you draw the line between research and actually insider trading.
And Galleon, of course, dealt a lot with technology companies. But is there something about dealing in technology companies that makes it more vulnerable, perhaps, to insider trading among the analysts?
Well, this is one area where if you can get a good read on what the quarter is going to be relative to the actual expectations in the market, you can consistently make money. And that's what the game was here. In fact, Galleon, some of the wiretaps, that's what they were talking about doing.
Okay, Henry, great to see you again.
You too.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.